Hi, how y'all doing? It has been a weird, couple weeks, but we're here, and I'm actually ready to not get some work done. Well, I'm going to get some work done, but I'm not going to be getting writing done. I have some pre-planning, what needs doing, and that's going to be the focus of a lot of my work today. But guess what? I'm not alone. There's Megan and Laura.
Hi.
I have to say, if it wasn't for the fact that I went off on like a 15-minute complete non sequitur rant in the middle of Monday's podcast, would have been well over an hour long because between Kat and Laura, there was so little to cut out. There's so little to take out. I was like, well, this is going to be a long one. And then my stupid mouth had to go blah, 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 blah. So, that's what I can cut out. That right there.
But you had the history.
A lot of that's still in there. But yeah, that should be coming out today. I am really excited about that. It came out really, really well. I'm also really curious to see what's going to be happening with the podcasting numbers because starting with the first new episode last week, it's been getting like 500 downloads a day.
Wow.
So,
Impressive.
yay. Please give me my monetization back so I can start throwing some money at people's coffees and whatnots for their participation. Or, that would be nice. Give me my monetization back. Which they technically didn't take away from me. I just have no ads right now. So maybe that will change in the not too distant future, especially if those numbers can hold up, because that's exciting. Those are good numbers for a podcast. I'm just saying. But yeah, I am so glad that y'all are part of this. One last thing before I ask these lovely people what they're up to today and we get into chat. So that single that I released, Finding Joy, is now available on Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon. For those of you who have that and are interested in it, I put links to all of it on the video. So if you want to add it to your library, it is now actually up in those. There are, if I did not mention your music service, there's 30 of them that it's being added to. So I will keep adding to the list as I get the notifications that it is live here, there, and yonder. Though I'm really curious to see if I'm still banned in China because one of them's Tencent. So that would be an interesting thing to learn. Yeah, but I'm excited. Thank you for everybody who said wonderful things about it. I hope that, I don't know, it's what kept my sanity together through everything last week, and I hope it helps other people as well. And that's me. What are y'all doing today?
I'm working on coming up with new story ideas for short stories so I can start typing them out and practice my writing skills.
Short stories are tricky. I wish I had Laura's power. Can we all just invoke the power of Laura for coming up with ideas for all the short stories?
Okay. I came up with another one.
Maybe all invoke the power of Laura.
Okay, here's the deal. I used to have this recurring nightmare years ago about an alien invasion that happened and then a matrix setup happens, and I was classed as a to-be-eaten person. And so it was this whole nightmare of me trying to escape the aliens that have invaded, and a tsunami happened and all this insanity. And so 2 nights ago, I had that dream again.
Oh no.
But I knew I had the dream before. And so I was a prophetess who would tell people this building's going to collapse. The tsunami is coming this way. We got to go that way. And so I heard some people to safety, and the aliens come and we all get taken aboard. And I know what they use to cordon people off into what section that they're going to be. And so I know what's going to happen. And so I finagle my way into being in the section that is going to be not raised, but transformed into assassins for the aliens to take on the Star Wars armies that come to take out this alien race. And my cohort was Kylo Ren, and it was great. Yes.
That beautiful mountain.
So,
I'm just saying, John Oliver has ruined him for me forever, and I love it. Like all I see when I see the actor or the character, I just hear John Oliver making all of his lewd statements, just on repeat in my head now, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. It's all good.
so I'm going to use the original Nightmare as a short story for Silver Shamrock Publishing to submit in April. And then I want the other version where I'm the prophetess, basically, and make that a novel-length story.
Ooh.
So 2 versions of the same craziness, but one for short, one for long.
Nice. That sounds so fun. Hello, Maggie. We are here. I think. If you can see me, I'm here. Other than that, I don't know. I had like terrible nightmares last night. I'm not going to go into the dream because my nightmares are not for human consumption. They're just, oh God. But it was one of those nightmares that you wake up and then you fall asleep and it continues from where it left off. So you didn't get away from it. Like I literally got up, made myself a cup of hot tea, kind of just sat drinking herbal tea in the living room, like gonna give it time to pass, just gonna give it time to pass, fell asleep in the chair, and it started again. So yay. And we were talking backstage. It's very unfair, Maggie, that you talk to us about these things in a world where we don't have Wonka vision for you to hand us some of the elk chili because
it sounds so good and I want it.
Sounds very good. Hello, Shadow's Lair. Oh, I won't be making it, but you wanted to say hi. Well, hello. Hello, CB. How are you doing today? Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. I've been trying to bring that back. And it's not just because Elaine is my spirit animal, like deep down inside, but because I miss yada, yada, yada. There are 2 things from the 90s that have to come back. Yada, 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 and being able to call anybody I want to Mary. I need both of those things back. I need them now. Now is the time. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry needs to be a Mary in this place. Ah. Yes, some rants are necessary. I almost went off on one, but not right now. Hello, Abigail. How are you doing? I hope everything is going well. Book 2 is about to come out, is it not?
I saw the cover reveal on her newsletter.
I'm trying to remember the date because my brain, like, I've lived like 3 weeks this week, so dates and I have nothing in common whatsoever anymore. You're torturing Tony Stark. Not literally yet.
Just literarily.
Literally. Hello, Alley Cat. How are you doing? I'm glad to see you here. You're finally able to buy some Republic of Tea. I'm so excited. It is so good. I love their teas. I really do love their teas. I wish that like their competitor actually offered to sponsor my Twitter account, and I said no to money because I like Republic of TT's better. And then I was like, Republic of Tea, hey, but no, still no love from them, but love from me. They're even the weird teas are good. Like they have this, like, what is it? It's like it's basically like carrot consomme in a tea form, but it's delicious. It's really, really good. They have all kinds of teas though. Let's see. You're trying to get 5K, a fourth of the way there. That's amazing. Ooh, that I would love to have a 5K day. That would put that one into the future. Just putting that into the future. Just yeah. At some point, I'm gonna try for that again. Hello, Mary. How are you doing? Yeah, those are not your friends. I don't like those kinds of dreams. I don't. And Like, at least it wasn't the flare dream. The flare dream is the one that really bothers me because you wake up when they start ripping the skin off, and then you go back to sleep and they continue ripping your skin off, and you're just like, but because you just went to sleep, you don't wake up right away, and you get to have all that pain and nightmare feel. Yay! Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? We're going to be getting into a sprint in the not too distant future. You think you might make sausage chili tomorrow? That sounds amazing. You know, I think we might have the stuff for chili. I'm going to have to look. I know we have the graham meat, but I threw a fit the other day because we ordered chili from a restaurant that shall not be named, and it was not ours because somebody would have gotten fired. And they put white beans in that. And I don't know who puts white beans in chili, but you don't put white beans in chili. I was so mad, I almost threw the bowl. I didn't because it was in my own house, and I would have had to have cleaned it up, and that's just unnecessary cleaning. But I got angry. You don't do that. We saw the cover review two and reveal 2, and it looks amazing. That's awesome.
It does.
Yeah, tired I think is the mood of the nation and kind of the world right now.
The mood of humanity. Tired.
Yeah. Like, how do we set that as our planetary Facebook status? We're so lucky that you look the 5-star chef. Ooh, yeah. We've had some really good chefs. We just don't hire people that are right out of culinary school anymore because it's just so much effort to beat the culinary school out of them. It's like, that works really fine when you've got hours to make one dish. It's really good. We're a restaurant. We don't have time for all that. Or they come in and work their way up, which they don't understand because they're like, but I went to school. It's like, yes, you know how to make amazing things. Now we need to teach you how to do that on time. Oh, I am terrible at remembering stuff. I just knew that I just have like little, oh crap, you're forgetting things. It's like the opposite of a reminder. I have little anxiety notes in the back of my head that go off and like, you're forgetting to say a thing. I don't know.
You remember all it's glowing.
Yes. I honestly thought about making one of those once and just having it on my desk, just forever read. Just like, because, yeah. So January 22nd, that's not that far away. That really isn't. Ooh, yeah, that sounds really good. I've just been craving burgers, and so we went to a burger place that also is famous for their chili. And the burger was crap and tasted like cardboard, and the chili had white beans in it, which I've never had from them. You ended up taking a nap earlier. Well, that's good. Hello, Orla. How are you doing? We have less than 2 weeks if you're going to be submitting your story to Orla Hart's anthology, the next anthology, which is Unnatural is the theme. I don't know if I'm going to be submitting this time because the story that I wrote is way too personal. I cried too much after I reread it. I will not be able to record an audio version of it. So if I can't think of another story in time, I may not be submitting this time, which breaks my heart. But there's still time.
I recorded my audio last night, and I have recruited my sister to be the voice of the demon in the girl's head. So she's going to record her voices with some little changes to it, and I'll just splice it in. And I think I'm going to paint the creature for the backdrop of the video. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun making the pictures for the background of the one that I did last time. And yeah, that's the other problem, is having the time to put it all together. But if I come up with another idea, I'll definitely do it. But I made that mistake of like, it's a semi-autobiographical story, and I've made it fictitious enough that it's not going to be triggering when I try to edit this thing. Nope. Nope. That was not the case. which I do that to myself every now and then because I'm like, I can talk about this thing now, right? Nope. I will be very excited when we get to the point where that is true for some of these memories. So I am going to light us a candle and ask for our muse to get in here and help us out with anything that we might be doing, whether it be brainstorming, telling a story, or just having some fun, because, you know, sometimes you need inspiration to know what to do with that. Oh my goodness. This is a candle that was sent to me by the wonderful Bonnie, and it instantly filled like the area in front of me with this cinnamon. Oh, the cinnamony smell that I just absolutely love. So, yay! Thank you. I don't know if Bonnie is lurking. She lurks a lot on these videos, but if you are and you're here, thank you so much. It smells so good. Alrighty, so I really haven't done much of anything today. So do we want to start with a 15-minute starter sprint? Just kind of get our feet wet and then move on into something a bit more. I may be a bit more rigid about talk time today, just because I would like to be able to say I did more than add links to a video I put out a couple days ago. I would like to take at least one other thing off of my to-do list today. That would make me happy. So we may be a little bit more rigid with talk time after the sprint, but I have a timer set for 15 minutes. If you are new to my sprints or haven't been here for a while, my laptop does not like me having anything else going on, like on the screen while I am streaming. So it's really nasty with me if I try to put up a timer or anything like that. So what I will be doing is setting a timer on my phone, and in the ticker below, I will be putting the minutes at which we will be coming back for you, and I will beep and let you know when we are back. Alrighty? Alright. So, with all that said, make sure that you have your documents open. I'm going to give you the warning now. Don't be like I am all the time on a sprint where I'm just like, I'm going to get started. I haven't even opened this yet. And wait the entire sprint for the document to open, because it's one of those. So make sure your document's open. Make sure you have a beverage to drink. Stay hydrated. And periodically check and make sure you're not doing the hunch like I like to do, because it's so comfortable, but not a thing. Not a thing. First posture check of the stream. Let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I will see you back here in 15 minutes. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. We are back. That is the end of our first sprint. How did everybody do? I will say I now know what it is that I had forgotten the whole time right before this stream started. I'm running around going, I'm forgetting to do something. I'm forgetting to do something. I forgot to export the edited version of the podcast. So while it is not, so I spent most of that still waiting for that export to get finished. So yeah, I at least remembered what I had forgotten. So yeah, there's that, and I think I'm going to try because I keep saying that I'm going to try it, and I haven't. Since my creativity is a bit broken, I am trying to use John Truby's Anatomy of a Story to crystallize the idea of the story that I'm working on a little bit better, because it's a lot of like question and answer stuff that my brain is allowing me to do. So we'll see. I will have a second review of that book up in the not too distant future after having tried to fully implement it from start to finish.
Nice.
Nice.
So what did y'all do?
I worked on coming up with new ideas for short stories, and then I started looking at contemporary short stories because I'm like, what do people actually write about for contemporary short stories? So I did that for a bit, and then I got onto the what's it called? The Library of Congress's collection of newspapers, and so I've been going through looking at all the murders between 1920 and 1940 and reading about them.
Are you thinking of doing a true crime or a thriller or a mystery story?
I just seem to always find interesting stories to think about when I look up different murders, especially because people have interesting ways of murdering people. So hopefully I'll come up
This
with
is true.
something.
Sad, but true. What did you do, Laura?
I wrote a little bit. So I'm working on my Soot Labyrinth story. So I have the main creature for the Soot level of the labyrinth, where they're humanoid creatures that live there, the Soot Scamps. And so they have like recessed eyes, and everything is lit by bioluminescent moss and stuff. And so, hole cracks in the ceiling, girl falls through. And so now they go up to the next level of the labyrinth where there are lanterns. And so I'm trying to figure out if there are lantern folklore somewhere in the world. Like, are there entities like connected to lanterns, or should I go more with like turnips with candles in them,
I
or
can't
should
remember what
it
they're
be like
called, because
industrial?
there is a Japanese obake that is made, that is a lantern that comes to life after a certain period of time. It's actually a lantern that eventually comes to life, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But I know that there's that.
Cool.
So at least a place to start.
Yeah. Yeah. I have Scary Story, 7 Japanese Tales That Will Chill You to the Bone up. I don't know if any of them are about lanterns.
Because
Oh, the Peony Lantern. Interesting.
trying to search to see if I remember the thing correctly. If I say it out loud. Did I remember you? Yes, it's the Chochin Obake. CHOCHINOBAKE. It's the ghost of a paper lantern.
Got it.
Yay! My memory did a thing. Yay!
Yay! Yay!
Achievement
Mm.
unlocked. I'm overly proud of that.
Sweet.
Hello,
Yeah.
Nikki. How are you doing today? I am glad to see you here. I hope everything is going well. You don't have to tell me, sister. Like fire trucks, the fire station is like just over the hill that way.
We just had fire trucks just now, and then after that, it was cop cars and ambulances. It's like,
Oh,
I'm on the 11th story. It shouldn't be this loud through my window.
no, it
That's
shouldn't.
closed.
But they carry. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun making it. It was really like weird because when I got the link that it was up on the streaming services, I played it and seeing my stuff like playing, like it was weird. Is back
When I
to that. Last time I made an album, there were no streaming services. You count like LimeWire and stuff like that. I think Kazaa was still in action back then, but that wasn't really a streaming service.
When I first watched it, I thought it was an actual video and it was just a really long introduction. And then I was like, wait a second, no, it's a song.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what I did to keep my mind together. And it made me really, really happy just because, I don't know, it made me happy. I also very intentionally wrote it in E flat minor because I've had arguments with friends that that's the saddest key that you can write something in. And I wanted to write something happy in what he considered the saddest key, just to be like, so, take that. I took your sad key and used it for happiness. Aha! How punk is that? Hello, Devin. How are you doing? I'm glad to see you here. I hope everything is well. Let's see. Orla started getting ready for bed. It's late here. Yes. Yes, it is. Time zones are the devil. CB got 81 words. Yay! That is awesome. You felt despair welling up inside me suddenly. Hopefully that's your characters and not just you, because like this is like the mood that I have been living in for the last like 2 weeks. Hello. I've been very Lydia Dietz. Like when the camera's off, like I've just been very Lydia Dietz. Except for not quite as fabulous as when a writer was back then. But you know, I can dream. Let's see. Starting from next Wednesday, you're going to limit the number of streams. You're going to, because you have the exams coming up. I completely understand that. I have, believe it or not, limited the number of streams that I've been doing, which I know some people are going to call like horse shit on that, but you know, I don't think everybody knows how many streams I was on during a week. Like, I was doing a lot. Too much. I pared back. Alley Cat has started working on homework, so awesome. Maggie got 291 words written. Nice. Thank you for the note there, because you know I always wonder, because you have such a lot of editing to do, which you're actually working on at the time. Mary said, I did a module for school and sent an email to my professor. Awesome. The original jack-o'-lantern in the Irish carried an ember in a turnip. Yep. Maggie says, that's awesome, Charlie. All I know about Chinese lantern myths is that Paper Moon used Paper Moon used to lure the moth girl. That is true. I forgot about that one. I am rather obsessed with Japan. Just have a problem. It's a reason I'm learning Japanese. Let's see. The relative minor key of E minor is and G major, right? I believe so. I should know, but in grade 2 music theory. Yeah, music theory and I are like half friends. But I don't know, it was really, it was also fun because I also used a blues chord progression to make a happy song, which I also find like just like, again, just to irritate a certain friend of mine who will hear the song and be like, you did. Yes. Because you got to find joy where you can find it. Yes, it's the characters. Yay. Whoops. Go back up there. Stephen was editing and found a huge plot hole. Plot holes come, plot holes go. But, we can fill them. We can fix them. We have the technology. And Mr. P says, hi, y'all. Me and my new planner is here. You and your planners. You and your planners. Look at that. Right
Perfect
in time. We have good timing today. This is a sign. Good things are coming our way. Alrighty, let's get the second.
Speaking of planners, if you have nothing to do this sprint, I uploaded my bullet journal flip through.
Ooh.
So, yeah, 2020 bullet journals.
I wish I was better at bullet journals because I like love the idea of them. It's the doing of them that my brain goes, but why? Because I told you to, but why? But I have a lot of arguments within myself. Alrighty, quick question, because depending on y'all's feelings at the time, we either do 20 or 25-minute sprints for the rest of the stream. Which are y'all feeling today, 20 or 25? Any takers, any votes, any ideas?
If we do 20s, we get to talk more often. If we do 25, we get to be more productive.
This is true.
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
2.5 minutes.
Dice. Oh, I see
Mary
a 25
says
for
25.
Mary. Mary came through before the dice. I see CB with the 25. All right, we've got 2 for 25. It's just about to roll dice. All righty. 2.25. That's too much thought for me. I mean, I can do it, but all right. Make sure you're saving your work. Don't feed the gremlins. The gremlins literally tried to take a country today, and well, not today, but recently. Like, just don't feed them. Don't. Like, everybody's been having weird power things and all kinds of stuff because the gremlins are crazy right now. So save your documents. Make sure that they're saved. Make sure that they're backed up. Send them to a friend. Whatever it takes. Don't lose your work. Yes, Maggie. Yes. Hydrate or dihydrate. And good night, Orla. Have pleasant and strange dreams. Make sure that you're checking your posture. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. We will be back in 25 minutes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and see you in 25. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. And that's the end of that sprint. How did everybody do? I am putting music behind the podcast thingies because I forgot to do that. And luckily I realized that before I put it live. So that affects the audio more than the video because I'm not doing that for the audio, for the video, at least not at this point, but I'm doing that because I forgot. What did y'all do?
I was coming up with more ideas for short story ideas and researching more short stories to look at and get some ideas from. So
Nice.
yeah,
I made
Ooh.
some peach herbal tea.
Ooh.
nice.
It's so good. Yay! And I've been reading up on Japanese folklore legends. And yeah. Yes, Abigail. We were very focused on our research.
Very intense.
Very, very. So for anybody who's actually really interested in Japanese folklore and how this works, Religion for Breakfast did a really interesting video today over the differing opinions over whether or not Shinto is something that is an exclusive indigenous religion to Japan, or if it is a universal thing that other people can do things with. And it's really interesting. He doesn't like pontificate or give like, here's the answer to this, but shows the history of Shinto and how the legends have moved around, how the kami, yokai, and obaki stories have moved around the world, how Japan actually opened temples in its colonies, and how Japanese people in diaspora are treating their culture, because Shinto is fairly strongly connected to their culture, but at the same time, it's fairly open and closed. It's a very interesting debate because usually it's just a matter of people talking about whether or not a culture is being appropriated by other people, and not actually watching the variant strains within a culture actually talking about this, because we have recently had the first Westerner who be ordained as a Shinto priest.
Oh.
So this really opens up the question when you're dealing with especially Japanese mythology: is this a gift to the world or is this their thing? It's a really interesting question, and I love his videos so much. If you don't watch his channel and you're interested in topics of religion, magic, and what have you, his main degree is actually in classical magic. And so he talks about that a lot on the channel as well. But it's a great YouTube channel, and that video just came out, and it is really, really interesting because, again, mildly obsessed with Japan. And he's been doing a whole series on Shinto about like its origins, their practices, why a Shinto temple is set up the way that it is, how a Shinto shrine works. And it's been a really interesting series, like deep diving into Shinto specifically, which I think is one of those things that a lot of people don't know much about. Like I thought I did, and then I realized, oh, I know less than I thought I did for watching it. But it's a really interesting topic because, with the prevalence of anime and manga, Japanese culture is becoming so ubiquitous in places that are outside of Japan. And it's an interesting debate, and I don't know, it's fascinating to me. And that may also have something to do with the fact that I write yokai stories. So, I may have some skin in the game, but So Alley Cat is still doing homework. I feel like I missed something in chat, but this is where we're starting. CB, call it 108 words.
Nice.
Hello, 108 words. You are named. I name thee. Mary finished another module and tried to start another one, but my brain decided to turn off. That is like
You do that.
the weirdest feeling in the world. I know it all too well. I feel like mine has been like I'm having a rolling power outage inside my brain. So it's like not like the whole thing's turned off, but like, oh no, we're not. No, there's no power available over here. Just go over there if you need lighting. Just so, yeah, I feel you there. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, there's so many interesting stories. I'm really wanting to include a Nuclavy into the next story that I'm working on, into the fantasy story, which is an Irish thing that they're like centaurs from hell. They're basically a horse without skin, with the rider kind of grafted onto the back of it or growing out of the back of it, that bring plague and terror wherever they go. And I find them fascinating and horrific. But yeah, there's a couple Japanese runners-up if I decide not to go with the Nuclavy that can accomplish similar things in the story, depending on which way I decide to go with it. Let's see. Okay, so first things first. The booking is from... I'll take care of it. I'll take care of that, said Pepper. Thanks. Sorry, I have a peeve about being handed things. That's okay. Their relationship is so cute. Ooh, somebody, Mr. B, watched Abigail's book cover review. It is gorgeous. Can't wait to watch that. CB says, I have a disclaimer. I have disclaimed the therapy because I've never had proper therapy, because there's no such thing as for what I have. I think everyone should be in therapy. Like, honestly, like me and some of my Catholic friends talk about this all the time, because like if you have a good priest, you kind of have a free therapist, because you just go in there, you tell the priest all your problems, and like a good therapist, the priest just looks at you and says, and how did that make you feel? But yeah, I think that's something that should be available to all of us, because yeah, your aunt and uncle took your cousins to Japan a couple years ago, and they had a total blast. I really want to go to Japan. Like, if I could ever afford to go out of the country and, travel is a thing again, that's one of the places I would love to go. And
I've already planned my 2025 trip to Japan. I have my itinerary all written out.
oh, so that would be the hard part, is the itinerary, because there's like a few like touristy things that I really want to like see with my own eyes. But there's also just like a bunch of things that I want to do over there that like it would be so hard not to just like go from noodle house to noodle house to noodle house with my husband, just trying all of the like it needs to be like a month-long trip to fit everything that we want to do.
It's 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. There's so many things. There's so much. Oh, oops, I skipped. Hello, Nikki. Let's see. During that sprint, I learned something cool. John Cena's brother is a first responder. That's really cool. That is really cool. And Shaquille O'Neal is a cop. He actually goes out on patrol and everything. Which, can you imagine being somebody that got arrested by Shaq? I mean, you're not going to outrun him. Like, he can take like one of his steps is like 9 human steps. Because I don't know if you know how tall Shaq is. I'll never forget. We took my nephew to Six Flags, and they had a Shaq standee there where you could like step in his shoes, and they had the footprints on the ground, and they had a life-size Shaq there. And I'm 6'1" and had to go to see where his eyes are. Like, Shaq is huge. Like, can you just imagine being chased down by Shaq the Friendly Giant? I mean, that just, oh my goodness, like that would be weird. Mary says, I have to go. You have a Zoom meeting. Have the fun with that. I hope it's a fun Zoom meeting. Not all of them are fun. My life has devolved to a place where I have Zoom meetings now, and it feels so weird. Let's see. Yes, that is awesome. John Cena is one of those people that I have very mixed feelings about. Like, I don't despise him as an actor, but there are very few roles that I've enjoyed him in. But he's in the Bumblebee movie, and the Bumblebee movie was amazing. So I guess I have to give him that. Yeah. There's a lot of people that I wonder how they're doing right now, just because I'm surprised I have heard nothing from them. Though Marco from Nightwish just left the band. If you don't know, he is their male singer and bassist. He's basically said that he had a year off where he could actually sit and think and realize that he doesn't even know who he is anymore because they've spent so much time recording albums and touring and just in that cycle that he wants to go off into the woods and find himself. So he's planning on making his own Walden Pond.
There you
getting
go.
away. And I'm just like, that's a really good reference, but can we stop quoting Thoreau? Like, Thoreau really didn't have a Walden. Like, that's all like propaganda. He had three maids that did his laundry, another maid that did his cooking for him, and another maid that cleaned his house.
Yes.
That's not roughing it in the woods. Or if it is, I want to rough it in the woods.
That's glamping.
How do I sign up for that?
Glamorous camping.
Yep. But yeah, I'm a little heartbroken about that because Marco's a great singer. And who knows, maybe he did not say he's giving up music forever, but one more thing that this whole thing has taken away from us all. But hopefully he finds himself, and it's a good thing. Alrighty, so I have the timer set for another 25 minutes. Make sure that you are just taking care of yourself, because I think self-care is the most important thing that we can do right now. We need to be saving our documents. Please don't feed the gremlins. Do not give them any more power over you than they need. Save your work, save your work, save your work. As Laura was demonstrating before I rudely cut her off. Hydrate. Make sure that you have a beverage. Stop hunching like I do. Be better than me. This is like the moral of every stream that I do. Be better than me. Because I have faith in you. Y'all can do better. Check your posture. Make sure everything is good. We are about to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I will see you in 25 minutes. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. That was the end of that sprint, and I am not gonna lie, I may have gone over to YouTube because I was going to watch somebody's book reveal, and for some reason I clicked on a thing that said, "Have you seen transgender gender reveal parties?" And I thought to myself, no, I have not. And now I have. And I am a much happier person for it. So I got down a very different rabbit hole because I wanted to see a book cover. And instead, I saw a bunch of wonderful people using balloons and confetti in marvelous ways to affirm themselves. So, yeah, that's what I did.
I just saw one the morning where there was this couple. They're pregnant. The woman was pregnant, and so they were going to do a gender reveal. But then it turns out they were doing it for their other kid who had just come out as transgender, and so they did a gender reveal for them instead of for the baby that they just had. It was like the cutest thing I've seen.
I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, so I may have gone down a rabbit hole instead. So, but hey, it did this. So I haven't done this in a couple days. So it was time very well spent and extremely productive. So yay.
Nice.
What did the rest of y'all do?
I did more looking at contemporary short stories. I read a short story by Virginia Woolf, and that was interesting. She did a stream of consciousness kind of short story that was interesting to follow. And then I looked for more ideas for short stories.
Stream of consciousness stories are fun. Virginia Woolf especially is an interesting writer, but I don't know if anybody would ever want to go on one of my streams of consciousness. I mean, I'm surprised anybody stays around for the streams with the stream of consciousness coming out of his head as it is. Like, if that were in written form, people could dissect it and no.
Get some analysis going on.
Before we ask Laura, Tessa, check your Instagram. You were saying, what did you get up to, Laura?
I was writing. So I decided that the lantern that this character is using is propane. So it's a continuous flame. And the casing around it is scavenged chipped colored glass. So it does cool lighting effects all around. So that's fun.
That's really cool. One of the things that I used to do a lot when I was younger is I volunteered it's spinning. We'll say hi in a minute. Actually, I'll just start telling the story. Yeah, there we go. So say I'll start telling the story and Tessa will stop spinning and be here.
Okay.
Hello, how are you doing? I hear my laugh and it sounds like a hyena.
I think I'm turning off the YouTube because I don't know if it's coming through or not.
We a little bit. So how are you doing?
I have been sleeping all day. Very, very deep sleep that people have been startling the heck out of me. So I called the doctor and said, this machine's not working and we need to do something. Because I can't do this, especially if I'm driving. It's not. All right, so am I on? All right, no, I'm not on.
Especially not with driving.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's terrible. I am trying to figure out. I know I opened it. Oh, there it is. There I am. Okay. I'm back on the thing. Hopefully no more noise. I hope.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear
Okay.
anything. So I don't know if you're wanting to do it as a perpetual flame or not, Laura, but when I was a kid, I used to volunteer at the Shrine of Our Lady of Lourdes in Emmitsburg. And one of the things that I had to do was refill the tank that kept the perpetual flame going, because you would get these canisters that you'd go behind the altar, and there was a plug there that you would basically push them in, put it in, and then push, and it would discharge the can into the container that kept the flame always going. And it always was one of those things where the priests and I would have long conversations about where exactly were the prayers contained. Were they in the flame, or were they in the container being perpetually refilled? And it was just a fun little weird thought that we had. And everybody had their own opinions thereabouts. But when you were talking about a forever flame, a perpetual flame, it made me think about that, which probably has nothing to do with the story you're doing, but I'll have to think about it. Hello, ADHD writer. How are you doing? Long time no see. I hope everything is going well for you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Whew. And I see an Eva. Hello, Eva. How are you doing? And yes, you may. Let's see. And of course, we jumpity jumped. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? I'm going to scroll back ever so slightly because it jumped, and I feel like I missed some things like a Glory. Hello, Glory. How are you doing? I hope that you are doing well. I hope you liked the edited version of the podcast that you and Tom were on. I thought it came out sounding really, really good. And I'm hoping that Laura and Kat like the edited version that's about to come out with them on it. I'm really enjoying doing this with peoples. It's a nice thing. Addams Family. Just, yes, I still haven't let myself watch the new one. I want to. It's on one of the streaming services I have access to, but it got mixed reviews, and I don't want to be angry right now. So if anybody saw it and liked it, let me know if it's safe.
I don't need to see any Addams Family.
Huh?
You
I
haven't
still need to see any Addams Family.
Oh my goodness. You will be so delighted with it. It's such a great show.
It's right up my alley. But
Yeah. I actually have the blueprints to the Addams Family house on a hard drive and stored on 3 separate cloud services so I don't lose them, because that's my dream house.
Oh wow!
I want when and if we ever have the ability to buy or have a house built, I just want to give those plans to an architect and say, make real. I want this. I want this house. Make this house. Like that. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but that's like my dream. I love the Addams Family so much. John Astin. Oh my god, just everything about that show. Just everything about it. The original comics are hilarious too. Charles Addams' original comics are just amazing. And those movies, Raul Julia, can I just say, was so good as Gomez. Just everything you'd want in a Gomez. Addams just. And was it Christina Ricci who played Wednesday?
The original, yeah, way back when.
Oh my goodness, I love her. I love her so much. She did such a good job. It was so amazing. Now I just want to do Addams Family stuff. The other thing,
Yeah.
like,
Part of my childhood was the Addams Family. Of course, I think it was black and white back then.
yep. I grew up watching reruns of The Addams Family and The Munsters, and
Oh yeah, yeah, both of them.
it's sad that The Addams Family got a really good reboot with the Raul Julia one. And like I said, I can't speak for the new one because I haven't seen it yet, but there really hasn't been a good remake of the Munsters at all.
Hmm.
That one what was it called? Mockingbird Lane was interesting, where Eddie Izzard played Grandpa. That was interesting, but it was not great. Let's see. Maggie got 471 and counting the scribblings on. Hey,
It
count
counts.
your scribblings. It all counts. Wait a minute. Have you not seen the Flintstones either?
Oh, I love the Flintstones.
I love the Flintstones.
That as a kid.
I have to say, this is one thing that I like about HBO Max, because our HBO subscription got automatically upgraded to Max, and they had the Jetsons and the Flintstones and all of the old Warner Brothers cartoons, so all of the old Bugs Bunnies and
I have that,
all
and
that.
I didn't know that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to go back and watch them.
because I just put on the put on the Flintstones for a while, and that was just the background noise in the house was just the Flintstones. They've also recently got, I think, every series of Scooby-Doo.
Oh wow,
Oh man, Scooby
that's a
Doo.
lot of Scooby-Doo.
That's a lot of Scooby-Doo. Which I'm not opposed to, because I kind of love Scooby-Doo, and I actually liked the new Scooby-Doo movie. Scoob.
We went to the movies, and I'm like, this isn't exactly for a child, though. You know, this was more adult oriented, and we had a child with us, but it's like this is more adult oriented than it is for a child.
I see everybody saying hello to everybody. We got our timer, so I tried to zoom through here. Yes, it was the 90s movies. Is that lemonade made out of real lemons? Well, are those Girl Scout cookies made out of real Girl Scouts? The best lines.
Remember that one? Yeah.
One of the best lines ever. I mean, just it was delivered so well. Hello, Jules.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's see. The newest Addams Family was pretty good. Not sure anything could compare to the original, though. I can see that. I got excited because they actually based the characters off of Charles Addams' original sketches, which made me really, really happy, because I thought they looked good. But so many remakes lately have just been what they are. But then again, I have no room to speak because I've seen both of the Trolls movies. So, which I have to say, the first one I really, really liked. The second one happened, and it has Ozzy Osbourne in it. So if you ever wanted to see Ozzy Osbourne in a children's movie,
Last place you expect to see Ozzy Osbourne.
he's in there.
What growing up was Get Smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And then the remake with Steve Carell, the movie.
Didn't see the remake, but I saw the originals, of course. You're talking about
Remake.
stuff that, when I was younger, came out.
Mhm.
I
We have
lived
the box set of the complete Get Smart series back home.
Oh,
as a
Wow.
kid. I used to watch the Avengers, the British
Mhm.
Hmm.
show.
Avengers, of course.
Such a good show.
Speaking of HBO Max, they just got the original Saint.
I did see the remake of the Avengers. I don't usually watch the remakes because I like it. For some reason, I become bonded to the originals, and it bothers me to see somebody else doing it.
I know that feeling.
I feel
But
the
if
same
you've liked any of the James Bond movies and wish there was a TV series,
Uh-huh.
the original Saint is up on HBO Max now.
Oh,
This
see,
is the role that got Roger Moore his stint as James Bond. It's so good. It is so good. I love the show so much. Made me
I missed
very
the
happy.
last few Bonds. I missed. There was a change there when they changed that to that one guy, like the the whole vibration of the story is a little bit different than the originals.
I don't like the new Bond. I'm just gonna say the latest Bond. I don't.
Daniel Craig, or is there a newer one?
Yeah, the Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, he changed, like the whole thing changed. It wasn't the same vibe as the original.
I felt that. Yeah, but I have to say, I've also learned that I don't think I've ever enjoyed Daniel Craig in any movie where he didn't play a character with a Southern accent, which is weird because he doesn't have a Southern accent. But every movie where I'm just like, man, Daniel Craig was so good in that, he played a character that had a Southern accent. So maybe if James Bond showed up and went, hey, y'all, let's go stop the bad guys, I'd be all for it. I don't know. It's a very different Bond movie, but
It would be a very different Bond movie.
just saying, it's one of the weird parts about me. All right, so it's time for our next sprint. I have 25 minutes on the timer. Make sure you have something to hydrate with. Make sure you are keeping yourself relaxed in these times of craziness. Make sure that you are saving your documents. Don't feed the gremlins. We are getting started in 5, 4, 3. Okay, let's try this again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I will see you back here in 25 minutes. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. That really didn't feel like 25 minutes. Beepity beep. So I continued working on my wish list because I made a workbook out of story anatomy. And the first exercise is to write down your wish list, a list of everything you'd like to see in your story. And I'm not sure if I'm doing this for the series or just for the book. Probably for the series, so I'm spending a lot of time like making this wish list of like, oh, and I want this thing and this thing. I'm basically a kid making their Christmas list for Santa right now, going, ooh, and there has to be a murder radish, and there has to be a dragon at some point, and there's got to be sword fights, like lots of sword fights, because sword fights are awesome, and maybe some kind of a vampire, maybe, like, all those things that I like, because I'm just a trash person who writes fiction that people read for some reason. Anywho, I kind of feel like when I'm done, I'm gonna have to take a picture of it and like put it on my Instagram or something, because it's why no one should read my fiction, part 5. But what did you guys do?
I looked for more short story ideas, and then I got distracted in the chat.
I just noticed 57 messages in the chat.
My goodness, we talked a lot.
What'd you do, Laura?
I hit a little snag trying to decide what creature I want to go with. Do I want to go with the anglerfish with the human lure? Do I want to go with an undead skeleton that wears the corpse of somebody else to infiltrate a society?
Ooh.
Do I want to go with a skeleton that appears to be a human, but only to a certain person, the rest still see the skeleton? Or like, what do I want to do?
I love all of these options. These are interesting. I feel your pain because I'm like multiverse.
Yeah, I kept writing, and there's lots of dialogue now in this little piece, and it's like, is this too much dialogue? Too much recapping what just happened to somebody else? Like, I don't know. I need to like keep the momentum going. So like, do I just?
I have noticed that there is a very widely held position that if it's in a back and forth dialogue, it doesn't count as an info dump, which I have feelings about, but they're complex and problematic. So maybe you are keeping the momentum up.
I don't know, because if this is the anglerfish, this is introducing the fish part, because we've already met the lore. So it's like, but you don't know that yet. So I don't want people to stop reading like, oh, this is boring, but no. So I need to like go back and add some more elements of like something's off kilter here.
Something's not right.
I like the fish idea, but
I
how is the fish underground? Where's the water?
It's not a fish.
Oh, it's not a fish. Okay.
I am just thinking of some like weird Japanese floating cloud monster that has a head coming out of it. Yeah. I can't wait to see what you do. What did you get up to, Tessa?
Well, I started the first few chapters of part 2. I don't know if it's going anywhere. I don't know if it'll stay what it is right now, but something came to me, so I'm writing it down now while I'm thinking about it, because I would like to have a part 2. I'm just not sure exactly where to go with it.
I'm sorry for the laughter. If y'all are going to hear some noises, because apparently my father is currently on Facebook and texting me memes that he's enjoying. So there will be sounds occasionally as a result of that. But yeah, I feel that way with with the exception of the one series that I wrote going into it knowing there are 3 books. This is book 1, book 2, book 3. Like I knew everything going in. Everything else I've ever done was just like, I don't know, you're a story. Oh. Are you really a story? Which is kind of why.
I'm sorry.
Which is kind of why I'm giving in to trying to do the full story anatomy thing, because I have an idea. It's for several stories, but maybe it'll make it better. I don't know. I've done bits and pieces of it, and I liked the bits and pieces. I've never tried to do the full, like, I'm going to write a story the John Truby way. We'll see how long this lasts, but I do like his method for coming up with a premise. I do like that a lot. I think it does make the premise stronger. I've done that, but
I just didn't plan a series, obviously, when I started this. And now part of me is kind of like, well, I could do maybe one. I don't know if I could do more, but I'm kind of like turning my mind around as to the thought of creating a series, because I love books that are set in a certain town, and and you become invested in the characters, and so that's kind of in my mind. And I don't know if I can do it. I have no idea if I can do it, if I could come up with stories that would continue on or not. But that's what's come over me the last few days. I'm kind of hoping so. I decided to open a document and just start writing the second part to see if I can come up with something, at least to start.
good way to do it.
So that's where I'm at.
So Devin has just received word that Amber's live stream won't be happening tonight. A storm took out her internet service. Oh, she's been told the internet service won't be back until late Thursday night.
Yikes.
That's not good. So
Trying to live without internet is hard, to say the least.
especially now, because everything's on over internet. Like back when I lived in California, at least most of our TV channels came in via the aerial. So, as long as we had power, we had entertainment. But I don't know, like, we'd have to, see if our DVD player still works. Because I haven't turned it on in so long. Like, I assume it still works, but...
That's why I have so many DVDs, just because sometimes my internet used to be terrible. And so it would keep buffering over and over. It's like, I can't do this. I have my discs.
So, Laura, are you doing your stream tonight?
Yeah. In like an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay. Keep on me so that I'm out of here on time. Hello, Spence. How are you doing? How is Mini Spence doing? How's the bread? Because I know you were punching sourdough earlier. Or no, you're feeding your sourdough starter. Is it still alive? Is it okay? I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm here yet. Glory got 232 words. Yay, 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 yay. That is amazing. Mr. P had dinner, answered a couple of phone calls, and worked on setting up my planner. I have to say, when you say that, it makes me feel like you had a very different 25 minutes than I did. A much more productive 25 minutes, but maybe a parallel universe version of the 25 minutes. CB got 249 words. That is awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, the story wish list is one of your favorite parts. Yeah, this is because my mind's in a very, I want complete and utter escape right now, and some of my stories take place in an alternate version of the real world, and I just don't want to think about the real world at all right now. I'm working on the fantasy story. I'm kind of doubling down on the fantasy story. And I have such a long wish list of things that I want to put in there. Like, I really want a parody version of Gollum / Smeagol in here, but I don't know how to do it in a way that would make me happy. But, like, of course, that's on the list because that would be amazing. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. And of course, I'm really fighting with myself over whether or not it's going to be a full-fledged fantasy story or if I'm going to do the lit RPG story. I'm worrying back and forth on that, and that's going to be a hard decision. So that was our chat timer. Maggie fed the baby goats their bottles and turned on the heaters. I'm happy to say I remember to turn the fan on in the hall that feeds cold air into our into our heater, so the house is not icy cold. Because someone had the bright idea of, let's put the heater intake way up in the ceiling, down at the end of the hall, that never gets any cold air. So the rest of the house gets cold. It's nice and cozy in that hall. If I sat in that hall, it'd be nice. It's wonderful. Rest of the house, not so much. So we literally have to run a fan blowing air down the hall so that it actually does things. Thank you, Devin, for sharing a link to Laura's stream. Let's see, you were coming down from like a light anxiety. Oh, those are terrible. A friend of yours asked if we'd go to mass with them on her birthday tomorrow, and well, that would be a Thursday mass, and so there wouldn't be too many people there. But yeah, and of course, yeah, going back to anytime we go to visit my aunt, I have to go past the church where very bad things were done to me. Very inappropriate and bad things were done to little child me. And so we don't go visit that aunt because there's only one road that leads to her house. And it goes right past that church. So yeah, do what is best for you. It sounds selfish, but if you're going to be in an anxiety spiral for days because of this, it's not worth trying to make somebody happy for like a little bit of time for you to be in an anxiety spiral for days. Trust me. Take it from somebody who knows. Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope that everything. Yeah. Alrighty. There we go. Sprint 5. 25 minutes on the timer. I'm going to say it like a broken record because every now and then somebody forgets to do it, and I'm usually that idiot who did. So, saying it almost more for myself than I am for y'all, but make sure you're saving documents. Make sure you have something to hydrate with. Sit up straight. Do a posture check. It's good for you. Don't sit up too straight. You can hurt your back if you try to sit, like putting too much stress on your back trying to sit up straight. Sit comfortably, but not like I like to do. This is not healthy. This is not good for anybody.
That's the way I sit.
Yeah. Alrighty, we are going to get started with the sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and see you back here in 25 minutes. Beepity beep. Beepity beep. Beepity beep. That's the end of that sprint, which really did not feel like 25 minutes. But I think that's my song of the day is, wow, that didn't feel like 25 minutes, because it really, really didn't. But I did figure out at least what I want to do for the structure for this series. So I don't know exactly how the story is going to fit into it, but I know how I want to write it now. So that's something I didn't have before. So yay! What did y'all do?
I looked for more story ideas, and then I got lost on Twitter.
I was researching anglerfish and found a YouTube video where some museum has an anglerfish that has eaten another fish. And so they had to do these crazy x-ray scans to figure out what kind of fish the fish had eaten. And so that was interesting. And then I started watching the podcast episode. So I was distracted.
I have to say, I hope you like the edit. I am particularly proud of the audio version of it, just because I think that I need to work. Okay. I need a ruling from the gallery. Is making suitable background music that I can also use on the YouTube videos a new project or not? I need to know, because I was classifying it as a new project because it was not a thing on my schedule of things I wanted to do. So I did take my vow not to start anything new until I finish the things that I'm currently working on. So I need a ruling from the gallery on that, because
Unless you call it an extension of your podcast already.
Because it's going to be some time. That's going to be like a lot of time, because I'd need to do quite a few tracks to make that work. So I just, the music that I'm using for the audio podcast, I don't, unless I can only use in 30-second to a minute clips. So I want to put the whole video of the podcast up, so that doesn't help me. But anyway,
Yeah, maybe save it for later.
I am very happy with how these are turning out, and like I said, I think I kind of want to talk about spectacle over substance on Monday's stream for anybody who's interested in joining on that, because
Like all of the finales of all the superhero movies nowadays.
not saying, but saying. Can I just say that the not a spoiler, but through the entire final episode of the season finale episode of Discovery this year, every time they did one of two things, I just looked at the hubby and said, but what does God need with a starship? Because it really had those like Star Trek V vibes. Like, if you're going to like vibe off of any movie, that's not the one.
That's all the whales, right?
No. 5 is when Spock's hippie brother commandeers the ship and takes them to the center of the galaxy to meet God. And God's like, bring me your ship closer. I bring it closer. And Kirk's like, but what does God need with the starship? And God starts throwing lightning at Kirk. And Kirk stands up and defiantly looks at him and says, but what does God need with a starship? And God throws more lightning at him. And Spock goes, yeah, wait a minute. What does God need with a starship? And God throws lightning at him too. And then they realize, oh, wait, you're not God. You're an evil alien thing trying to use the ship to escape. And they photon torpedo fake God. And fake God goes, boom. And then they go, yay. Because I don't know. They were really high when they wrote the script. I don't know. Because the one before it was the one with the whales. And the one after it is my favorite Star Trek movie. That's The Undiscovered Country, when Kirk gets arrested for assassinating the Chancellor of the Klingon High Council. And I love that movie. But Yeah, there are some good movies in there you could have picked from. Star Trek V is not what. Don't.
I grew up on Wrath of Khan, and that scarred me for life with bugs in the ear. Oh
Ooh,
my
yeah,
god!
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
no, thank you.
really
I
good
thought I was
movie.
an
But,
adult,
oh,
and last year I tried to watch that scene and I couldn't do it.
No, thank you.
but yeah, that and they showed how the turbo lifts work on the new ship, and all I have to say is I hate everything about it. Like, it's really pretty. I understand why they did it. It's gorgeous. It is completely useless as far as the technology goes and would kill a lot of people. Rah! Star Trek used to be the smart one. Please go back to that. Fire Alex Kurtzman. Anyway, so what did you do, Tess?
I started out looking at something on YouTube. The next thing I know, I'm on Facebook. And I just frittered away the time, basically not doing anything. Because I was on my phone, which of course takes extra time to do everything because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I was, flipping through, trying to, follow the links. And so I didn't do anything productive. Let's put it that way.
If you did something restful, that's productive. If you did something just distracting, I almost consider that destructive considering the time.
It wasn't, I did what I wanted to do. It's just like kind of kept going. Like I didn't stop at the end. I just kept going. And, next thing I know, I'm on Facebook and I don't Facebook anymore. And I'm taking a survey on Facebook. I'm like, what am I doing? I hate Facebook now. And I took the survey and told them basically that I didn't like Facebook anymore. And
that's why my dad texts memes to me because he knows I don't do Facebook. So the ones that he really, really likes, he texts to me so I can still see them. He found a loophole. He found a loophole.
And then the timer went off. I'm like, what happened here? I mean, it seemed like time just flew and it was gone.
I don't know if you're still here, doll, but if you are, hello. Hello, my ace from space. How are you doing? And hello, Bonnie. How are you doing? Careful. It's hot wax now. I'm burning the candle. It smells so good. It smells so good in here. It's all cinnamony and amazing in here right now, and I'm kind of loving it. Oh, it makes me so happy. Thank you. Hello, Kate. How are you doing? Popping in between video editing. I feel like I should be actually making videos at some point, but when my brain heals. Finally finished your first trailer for What Grows. That is awesome. So many ideas. Maybe writing isn't going to happen much this month. Yeah, I've already come to terms with that. Like, I've basically, yeah. Wow, y'all are chatty. I got to get caught up because our timer's going to go off in a second. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? You need to get in your room, shut the door, and escape from the tiny human screaming. Oh, no. Also, hi. Hello. Hello, Glory, with the 158 words. That is amazing. Cleaned the office space. The other night, I had a dream that I completely reorganized my desk. And in the dream, I loved it. And then I came in here and realized that the shelves I have next to me aren't laid out the way they were in my dream. So I can't actually do that without having the hubby make me a thing. So that's the question. Do I ask for the building or just go, the desk is fine? More planner work? I am shocked. Chagrined, I tell you. Can't imagine you working on a planet. Goodness. Sidebar project. Ooh. Curious. Ooh. Well, message me. Let me know what it is. There is a possibility that that could be a thing. Because, I don't know. Stuff. Yes, tell us. Tell us. There's so many in here. Our thingy just went off. I'm going to try to rush through the comments real quick.
So this, I've lit 2 different space shows. One of them was we try and make it as scientific as possible, so it's all like from the same sun direction, and you have spotlights on the ships. And so that was for The Expanse. And so it was a lot more science driven. And then I worked on this other show, and they're like, just make it look cool. We have fog in space for atmospherics and everything. And it's like, okay. Flying through all these asteroids, and there's fog, so there's lighting going through the asteroids and the fog and everything. It's like, oh, okay. It just looks cool, I guess.
Can I just say, there's a lot of misconceptions about what can and cannot happen in space. Just number one, because Voyager actually picked up sound. And the reason for that is it crossed through some interstellar medium that was thick enough to cause vibration. So sound can exist. It's just in very specific circumstances. There are a lot of weird things about space that I often hear people going crazy about. And I have to say, an explosion would actually make a sound within the gas bubble of the explosion. So shut up. I'm sorry, I hear too many people complaining about that. There would be sound because there actually is, like, space isn't actually as a void. There's actually particles there. It's just very spread out and thin, but there's pockets of denser stuff. So yeah. All right, have the fun, Penumbra and Blessed Be. I hope everything works out. And CB got 116 words. I'm sorry. You have 116 words until you hit 36,500. I thought you were having like an amazing day. I had a moment there because it's you, and you're one of the few people that if you came to me and said I wrote 36,000 words today, I'd be like, okay, and not even question it because you wow. But okay, so you're almost at 36,000. That's I I want to get writing again. This is my goal. I'm going to get my mind working again, and then there will be writing. So, Laura's
This is going to be my last sprint.
That's what I was about to say. Laura's stream starts in 32 minutes. So since we tend to be chatty, I'm going to back us back to a 20-minute sprint for our last sprint, which gives us time to talk a little bit before Laura has to run away. All right. So let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you back here in 20. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. And that is our sixth and final sprint for this stream. I ended up naming, I at least have temporary names, if not the final name, for the first 4 stories in this series, which I like and are really going to help me get all that done. I've also named 2 additional characters that I pulled off that wish list that I want to see in the story. So I accomplished a thing. How did everybody else do?
Well, I ate some dinner, so that was an accomplishment. And then I was on Twitter.
I desperately tried not to open that because I may have, in the previous sprint, watched a video that somebody put out that made me very, very angry. So, and Twitter's the angry place.
I journaled a little and did little thumbnails for my backdrop I'm gonna do for Orla Hart's anthology. So now I've started sketching it in, and then I'll go to paint.
Nice.
Nice. What did you get up to, Tessa?
Using your idea of the craft book, I started today. I found something that I wanted to keep. So now I created a document and I will try to separate it into categories and notate where each one came from. I like that idea. And this way I'll have the information in one spot instead of in notes all over my desk.
I love the one that I've been slowly accumulating over the years, and I've like got it divided up into a series of workbooks that are like exercises from various books that I liked, and then I have all the advice in one section. Like, and when I find advice that I like better than other advice, I like erase one thing and put the other one in. It's been a really good project for me, and I'm very glad to have done it, and I'm hoping that it helps other people, because I don't know why I'm such a like rare bird in of myself that I don't know why I was surprised when I found out that other people don't do that, but it was just like, then how do you learn? Like,
well, in a way I do it, but it's in notes all over the place, so I can never find it again. So this is like perfect. Like, why didn't I think of that? Put it in one spot where I know where it is, you know?
This goes back to a conversation that I have with the hubby all the time, because when I was in, I think it was 6th grade, I was in the advanced classes, and one of the classes they made us take was a note-taking and study skills class. And that's where I learned how to do that. And apparently, if you weren't in that, on that track, you never took that class, in at least in Maryland public schools. And I was just like, why? Everyone needs to know how to, like, because it was like how to use highlights properly and how to take notes and how to distill your notes into something useful. And I was just like, why didn't everyone have to take this? Like,
It would have been helpful, yeah.
yeah. And it I don't know. It's one of those things that just baffles me. So CB.
So when you posted that on that little short, and I'm like, that's a great idea. And you said something about maybe making a video about it. I think that would be great. And maybe, I can learn some more about it. Right now, I'm just kind of putting things into it as I come across, instead of into a million notes on my desk, which I'll never see again.
I know that feeling. That's interesting. That is interesting. Well, yeah, we can talk about it. Send me a DM. Hello, Heather. How are you doing? When are you going to be starting your sprints up again? No pressure. No pressure. It's just we were all kind of surprised not to see you on Tuesday. Thank you for reminding people to hit the like button. Oh, just wow. Wow, CB. Good night. Good night. That is amazing. Whew. That amazes me. Ooh, got all the months filled in. You go, Mr. P.
Yay.
Welcome back, Nikki. 64 words and more office cleaning. That's awesome. Typed 47 words. That's awesome. These notes are for my short story for Orla Hearts anthology. I hope I can come up with another idea because I really want to do the anthology, but if I can't come up with another one, I'm not going to allow myself to stress about it. My bucket is full. Technical issues. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope that they are resolved because technical issues are the worst kinds of issues. So, with 6 minutes remaining, there is a link to Laura's stream over on her channel. If you would like to continue the work that you are doing, I will probably be over there in the chat, at least for a little while, because I still have some things that I would like to try to maybe do. And I'm going to be in my office until the hubby gets home, probably, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Would anybody like to outro before we go?
Hit the like button. Charlie's off.
Yeah.
I've been trying to work on my blog. I got behind, so I've been trying to work on that every day. My novel is out to beta readers, so I'm just waiting for them to come back. I do have a couple that I haven't looked at yet, and I'm kind of half afraid to look at them. I'm sure they're not as bad as I'm imagining, but it's a little nerve-wracking. It's the first time I've ever really put something out for someone else to read and critique. So I have my channels. I've been doing more live streams than normal. I seem to be doing pop-ups. So I did like 5 streams last week, 3 scheduled, 2 pop-ups. So I'm getting, some newer people in that I haven't had before. And people keep telling me they like my streams. They're very relaxing. So that's a good compliment. So I like I like that. And people have been telling me that. So, it makes me feel better. So that's basically it. Novel number 2, I'm still deciding what to do about. Because I do have another one that I started in another nano project, completely different. And I can work on that because it's kind of a full story. It just needs work. So there's that one too. Or I can try working on part 2 of what I just read. So that's where I stand with this. I'm just not sure yet.
Just not sure yet. That is the hashtag for my entire writing career.
Just not sure yet. Yeah. Got it there. You're right.
Thank you all so much for being here. This was wonderful and a lot of fun. Just a weird, I don't like doing self-promos, reminders that the track that I released on, was that Monday, is now up on Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon for anybody who listens via those streaming services. It is also free up for everybody who is a patron to download, and it is in the coffee shop as a name your own price download. And I will not be offended if that price is $0, because I literally made this to make myself feel better, and I'm hoping that since it did that for me, it might do that for someone else. So I care more that you enjoy it than anything else. So there's that. All right. It's been a crazy time. I can't wait till Fanfiction Friday when we will see. I will probably actually be doing fan fiction on Fan Fiction Friday, which I'm really, really looking forward to this Friday. That will be on my second channel, Project Shadow, link in the description box below. And yeah, that's it for me. As we leave, let us just remind ourselves of the things that are important. And I think I need to add another one to this list. Democracy is important. Black Lives Matter. Black trans lives matter. And trans identities are valid. Didn't think I'd need to say the first one, but hey, here we are. Until next time, may you have the courage to ride your dreams into reality. And don't forget to have the fun. And don't forget to head over to Laura's stream. Bye.
Yes. Bye.